My name is Pauline. I'm 71 years old, and I live alone in a small house that feels emptier every day. My husband passed away 3 years ago after fighting cancer, and since then, the silence has become my only companion. I have one son, Dawson. He's 42 now, married and living far away in another state where his job keeps him constantly busy. I miss him more than words can express. Every day I sit in my living room and stare at the phone on the table, hoping it will ring. Dawson calls sometimes, but not often. Still, I wait. I remember when he was little, how he would cry for me if I left the room even for a moment. Now he's grown with his own life, his own family, and I'm just an old woman waiting by the phone. One evening, the phone suddenly rang. My heart leaped in my chest. I looked at the screen and saw his name, Dawson. I stood up quickly, too quickly, and my leg hit the chair. The phone tumbled off the table and crashed to the floor. I grabbed it as fast as I could, but the ringing had stopped. The screen showed two painful words. "Missed call." I whispered, "Please call again," and waited. 1 minute passed, then 2, then 10. Nothing. I tried calling back, but it wouldn't connect. Tears rolled down my cheeks as I left a voicemail asking him to call me back, telling him I just wanted to hear his voice. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept staring at the phone, wondering what Dawson had wanted to tell me. The next morning, my eyes were heavy and my back ached from lying awake all night. I checked my phone again. Still nothing. I couldn't eat. Then the phone rang, and I rushed to answer it, but it wasn't Dawson. A man's voice asked if I was Mrs. Pauline Bennett. I said yes, and he told me he was calling from St. Mary's Hospital. My heart stopped. He said my son had been in an accident the night before, and despite everything they tried, he didn't survive. "I'm so sorry," he said. The phone slipped from my hand. I collapsed to the floor and cried like I had never cried before. The missed call suddenly made horrible sense. Dawson had tried to reach me just minutes before he died. He had something important to tell me, something I would never hear. I opened his last voicemail with shaking hands. His voice came through, "Hi, Mother. I want to tell you something important." Then it cut off. The message ended there, incomplete, just like our last chance to speak. I pressed the phone to my chest and wept. There was no one left to call me mother. A week later, I found myself in the attic, searching through old boxes without really knowing why. Perhaps I just wanted to feel close to him again. Among the dust and forgotten things, I found a small envelope with my name on it. It said, "For Mother. Do not open until I'm gone." My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside was a letter Dawson had written years ago. "Dear Mum," it began. "If you're reading this, maybe I'm not with you anymore, but please don't be too sad. I know I didn't say it enough, but I love you. I always did. You were my hero. You gave up everything for me. You worked late nights cleaning floors and washing dishes at other people's houses just to pay my school fees. You never bought yourself new clothes, so I could have books. I saw all of it, even when I never said thank you. I'm sorry I didn't call more often. I was busy, but I thought about you every day. I remembered every birthday cake you stayed up late to bake for me. If I die before you, I want you to know you were the best mother anyone could have. I will always love you from wherever I am. I clutched the letter to my chest and cried, but this time there was something different in my tears. He had remembered. He had always loved me. That letter felt like one final phone call, finally answered. The months that followed were difficult. There was no one to ask if I'd eaten, no footsteps at the door. But slowly, I began to forgive myself. I realized Dawson's love had never left me. I started to live again, even laughed sometimes, though I never stopped missing him. Then, one quiet afternoon, as I sat in my chair, the phone rang. It hadn't rung in months. My heart began to race. I whispered his name and hurried toward the bedroom where I'd left it. But I moved too fast. My foot caught the table edge, and I lost my balance. I fell hard, my head striking the side of the chair. The phone kept ringing somewhere above me, but I couldn't reach it. I lay on the floor, breathing slowly, my eyes barely open. I could see Dawson's photo on the wall, and in my mind, I heard his voice calling me. I smiled. The phone stopped ringing. A missed call from an unknown number. When my neighbor found me the next day, they said it was natural causes. But those who knew me said I'd simply missed my son too much. My heart had no reason to keep waiting. Maybe that last call wasn't just a phone ringing. Maybe it was Dawson calling me home. And this time I answered, somewhere beyond this world, a mother and son were finally together again, with no more missed calls. Just an embrace that would last forever.